Olmstead. I'm the account executive that works with our reseller community. And what we're going to do is go relatively quickly in the interest of your time and try to keep this to 30 minutes. So what we're going to cover today is give you somewhat of a brief introduction to about SaaSMAX. And we want to, of course, address how you as a reseller can make money. And if some of you on the call are not resellers and app vendors, that's okay too. I think you will be interested in some of the comments that we cover today. We're also going to speak to SaaS adoption and where we are with that in the year 2013. And then we're going to talk about the market opportunity that is available for you, as well as taking a look at the actual SaaSMAX marketplace today. Most importantly, we would like to speak to about how SaaSMAX can bring you value and why you will want to be a member of our community and remain a member of our community. We're also going to touch upon how to use the actual platform, and then how you can move from not only selling one app, but to upselling several apps. And lastly, we're going to give you a sample of a spiff that SaaSMAX has had. This one happens to be the March 5th that was in honor of St. Patrick's Day, and clearly this one has now ended, but we wanted to show you how these work and how they operate, so that as we bring more down the road that you'll have a look at those as well. Now I'm very happy today to say joining me on the call is Dina Moskowitz, our CEO and founder of SaaSMAX, and Henry Brethel, who many of you have heard from, who is our Director of Marketing and Communications. And I'd like to just take a moment for Dina to introduce herself, and then perhaps Henry, before I come back to this slide.
Sure. Hi, Donna, and hi, everyone. Thank you for joining today. We're excited to be able to present to you and the growing audience that is learning about SaaSMAX, because we're a new type of what some would say a cloud aggregator or a cloud distributor, but we like to call ourselves basically a marketplace for SaaS apps and resellers, where channel activities can be done efficiently, in a time-saving way, and in a way that we're creating operational efficiencies, particularly for the resellers. Our goal is really to focus on how we can help solution providers earn recurring revenues from SaaS sales of really good, high-quality apps that are also channel-friendly. Our goal is to build and grow into a choice engine for app discovery, and to eliminate all the channel red tape that usually comes along with contracting of many apps and deal management in many different places, and commission tracking and management, which can turn into a lot of minutia and an accounting nightmare. So our goal is to enable all of these things to happen in one place within SaaSMAX, so that the solution providers can focus more on their clients, focus more on finding the right solutions for their clients, and to earn money while they're doing it. As well, what happens, therefore, is the app vendors have the opportunity to gain exposure to progressive resellers who are looking at how these SaaS and cloud apps can benefit their clients. And so it's genuinely a win-win. We try to be as transparent as possible, and we try to facilitate deals however possible. We've also assembled a really great team, and Donna, who doesn't ever toot her own horn, she's formerly with IBM and has been a startup founder herself of another company in the technology space, and we're really lucky to have her on board. And we have several other people as well who have excellent channel experience as well as SaaS experience. So I welcome you to reach out to any of us at any time as you get involved in the SaaSMAX community. And Henry, why don't you take a minute to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. I'm Henry Brethel, and as Donna mentioned earlier, I am the Channel Marketing Director, and you'll be frequently receiving email marketing pieces and information about the apps in our marketplace, as you can see from the screen. They're more informational than sales-directed, but feel free to reach out to me anytime, because I have first-hand information and knowledge about the apps in our marketplace and what may or may not be in the pipeline. I can also direct you to the right people within our organization to help you if there are other things you need help with. So with that, I'd like to toss it back to Donna, and we'll continue our presentation.
All right. Thank you very much, Dina and Henry, for those remarks. So the slide that you're looking at right now up on your screen is just a sampling and a look at some of the SaaS applications that have now joined the SaaSMAX marketplace. We are growing upwards of 50 at this point in time, so you're looking at the vast array that have come on board. We have actually a great spectrum of apps. We have everything from project management to CRM to visitor management to workforce management to retail and to point-of-sale type applications. So this slide is just indicating today that there is a movement out there as SaaS is becoming the delivery model that companies are using today and accepting their software. We have a sample of the great breadth and deep number of software applications that have joined the SaaSMAX marketplace. And with that, we're going to transition on to something that's very important as to speaking to why we are here. We are here because we believe, from our perspective, you are leaving money on the table if you are not in the SaaS world. This is an opportunity for you not only to gain new customers, but it's an opportunity for you to grow that revenue with the existing customers you have as well as the new customers that you're gaining. It's also, you're on the cutting edge and the front edge. You have a competitive advantage now if you are in the SaaS marketplace. You're ahead of others who have not yet jumped on board, and we're going to explain to you in more detail as we go along how that is. There's also the opportunity here for you to gain new service revenue because instead of just reselling the SaaS apps, there is an opportunity here for you to provide additional services such as training and support. SaaSMAX will also be offering you the availability of developing new partner opportunities. We will be here to facilitate introductions for you to many of the app vendors that have already joined the marketplace. So many of our resellers have already taken advantage of that introduction that we can provide for you. And most importantly, in this model of SaaS, you, the reseller, are staying very important. You are very needed. You are the trusted advisor. The app vendors want to know you. They want to have you in their camp, helping them to reach the client base. And now, as we look at this next slide that's coming up, I'm going to say that this just really is going to point out what the opportunity is for you in terms of the deals that are there. So if we could advance one slide, you'll be able to, the slides are not advancing, so I don't know if we're having a technical problem, but we need to go one slide up. Thank you very much. When you look at this slide, this is perhaps one of my favorite slides. If you look at the first line, it's really showing you the revenue that you, the reseller, can gain. So in this example, if you just even start very simple and very small and sell only one app, and if the average per monthly price is $40 as you read across, and you have only 10 customers, and at each of those 10 customer sites you perhaps have 20 licenses, and the commission rate is running 20%, you stand to earn a monthly commission of $1,600. And that can easily extrapolate out over the year to $19,200. And you can see the kind of revenue that you will gain over 3 years. You're looking at $57,000. I will start in 1 minute. I've lost my screen. Okay. If we could go back one slide, because I did want to point out, thank you very much, that I wanted to take everybody down to the last line where you can see even if you get into the business of selling 10 apps, and perhaps even you sell those 10 apps to the same 10 apps to maybe the different customers, you have developed sort of a repeatable business model. And if the average per month is $40, and then you have 25 customers, and you can read right across yourself at 20 licenses per customer, 20% commission, you can see that by selling those 10 apps, you have earned revenue of upwards of $40,000. And we might also mention here that the complexity of the apps actually varies. So some may be very simple, and they're just apps that you're going to resell and move on to the next one. But some of them will be a little more complex, which will require training and support and some of your expertise. So again, here is where you have the opportunity to increase your revenue. So thank you very much. And the next slide. So now what we're looking at is what some of the statistics that are here today. And we're not saying this. We're looking to some of our professional organizations that are saying it, that they believe in 2013 that the SaaS spend will equal upwards of $59 billion. In 2014, by $75 billion is all quoted from Forrester. And then we even have another quote that says that the spend will be $95 billion by 2015. But perhaps the last statistic there is the most important one that we want to look at too. In the delivery of traditional software, businesses may have been only using 1 or 2 apps. But in the SaaS delivery model, we're finding that customers are using upwards almost to 7 apps on an average. So there's a lot here that needs to be looked at and a lot here that needs to be sold. Now this next slide is just, again, sort of a reiteration of what I just spoke to about the steady growth of the SaaS model and the steady growth of that businesses are now using on an average of 7 apps. And there is a SaaS app for nearly everything. And so what this is showing, we know there are thousands of applications that have already been developed for the market out there. And then how you can search on them varies. So you can either search an app by horizontally or vertically or by organization. You can search for an app by its particular features or even by what geography it may be in. So this is, again, just this one is showing how many apps we really have out there in the marketplace. So the next thing that we're going to look at is the problem. So what is the problem? And SaaSMAX really came about to solve the problem. We saw that there really was no choice engine out there in our sector for app discovery, for finding the right app. We know that the real estate market has done it really well, that you have the MLS directory, you have the realtors connecting to the buyers and connecting to the sellers. We know that the travel industry has done it very well. And we know that the automotive industry has done it well. But it has not been done well for our sector. And so what SaaSMAX has done is to make it very easy for you, the resellers, to discover apps, and then you will be able to make smarter, faster decisions and easily transact with your customers. So again, going forward, we're looking at, that's the problem, and now we're looking at the noise. This is the noise. This is what is here today. There are thousands of SaaS apps out there on the marketplace on the Internet. There are many, many resellers and solution providers like yourself, not all already in the reselling in the SaaS world, and there's also 28 million or so companies. So there's a lot out there, but it's very hard for everyone to find one another and to find the right app for the reseller to discover the right app. And so when we look at this next slide, we kind of reiterate the same symbolism of noise. Where again, on the outside, we're looking at the number of SaaS applications that are available. We're looking at the thousands of solution providers, the VARs, resellers that are out there, and of course the millions of companies. The reason we have SaaSMAX in the middle there is that I like to think of it as that we are the wheel spinning, and what we are attempting to do is connect the dots and make it really easy for the reseller who's working with the client to then connect easily with the right app vendor for that client. And so what we look at is that SaaSMAX is the game changer. So we are really the choice engine, that what we are doing is trying to make it, again, our goals, that app discovery will be very easy. We are trying to make it so that you, as a trusted advisor to the client, that your purchasing decision is very easy, and that we will help you with your whole partner management process as we help you work with our specific app vendors, that quality app vendors that we have brought into the marketplace. The other goal that we have is to make deal registration easy for you, and we do. We have it all in one place using one login. And what we are going to do, what we at SaaSMAX already do, is we keep track of your commissions, and no matter how many apps you're selling, 1 or 10, collecting all those commissions and making sure that we disperse those checks to you on a regular monthly basis. So we've taken that paperwork away from you. Another thing that we're providing for you is to help make it easy for you to learn about our apps is that we have what we call snapshot webinars. And these are very quick 15-minute webinars where we bring our app vendors on, and at a very high level, they get to describe what their pricing plan is, what their app does, what the commission is due to you. So Henry Breffel often will be sending you notices that you will hear from him on a regular basis as new apps are joining almost every week, and we want you to have the opportunity to join these webinars. And then again, it's all transparent, the partnerships that run between you as a reseller and an app vendor. This slide that we have up, the business value, is really to look at the business value and what we were hearing from our resellers. So on the left, you're looking at what were the resellers' pains. They were saying that there is a lot of confusion out there. They can spend a lot of time wasted out there on the internet looking around to find the apps and find the particulars about an app that is going to work for their client. We have made app discovery easy without that noise. The apps that we're bringing in all enter their information in a very similar way, and you'll see this in a little more detail later. But therefore, once you get to know one app on the marketplace, you'll quickly be able to look at a second, and all the information will be there in a very similar fashion. The second item down there that we provide value to you, the reseller, is we have done all the heavy lifting as it relates to the contracts. You do not have to be entering contracts with all of the different app vendors. You simply go online in SaaSMAX as a reseller and click and accept the terms and conditions, and you are done. We at SaaSMAX have already done all the contractual relationships with the app vendors one by one and done all that heavy lifting. So we're relieving you of any of your time being spent or legal fees being spent on developing contracts. So that is one of the second pain points that we heard. The third one we often heard about from our resellers was regarding deal management. It would be very difficult if once you start ramping up and you're selling more than one app, but you're selling 2 apps or 3 apps or 4 apps, to have to be learning each and every different app vendor's deal management system. So now you have one deal management system to deal with. The other pain point we heard was for resellers having limited enablement tools. We don't want you to have to reinvent the wheel by any chance. And so we have required our app vendors to provide you with all the data links and everything that you need in order to deliver the app. So there's demos, there's collateral material, and whatnot. And so lastly, we just really feel we don't want you to miss the opportunity by not being part of SaaSMAX. You have now the quick and easy way to find new and different solutions to bring to your client. So when we move on, we're going to be looking at, so what is the business opportunity for the solution providers? Well, what's happened is the SaaS vendors who are developing their SaaS apps want to stay focused on their core competency, what they do best in their business, developing an app. And they do not have the in-house capability or the resources to be developing a traditional sales channel. So they really are looking to you. The vendors need you very much, the resellers, to be that channel for them. And if you look at the fourth bullet, something I'd like to emphasize at this point is that you, the resellers, actually reduce the churn rate out there because you are engaged with the client. So that once maybe perhaps the free trial ends in 30 days, because they're engaged with you, we're going to see a lot more retention of the software in-house with the client. So again, we can't emphasize enough how the app vendor is really dependent on you, the reseller, in this particular delivery model that we have today. And then we're going to look at the next thing is the SaaSMAX marketplace, and actually give you a picture, for the first picture of what our platform looks like. So if you look on the right side of this particular slide, you're seeing a list of some of the apps: 2X, AirPods, AMS Management, Big Contacts. These are some of the apps that we now have available in the marketplace. And as I have mentioned before, this list is really ever growing, so I don't think you'll have a problem finding something in it for you. And the next slide is going to really show you all the detail and sort of that format that I have been speaking about, that when our app vendors enter their profile, it's all done in a very similar way. So in this example, we're looking at an app called the Secure Online File Cabinet. And if you read the tabs from left to right, the overview is the first tab, which is going to provide a description of what it is that the app does. And then when you look at the second slide, on the second tab rather, you're really going to see what are some of the technical abilities that the app has. It will tell you about their compliance. They'll tell you about their browser capabilities. They'll tell you about backup and security, and any other technical information that you need to know. Now, if we look at the third tab, we're looking at the channel. And what the channel tab is going to provide with you is to talk about who are your customers, the best customers for you, who are the best resellers for this application, and whatnot. And I've lost my screen again, so I'm sorry for the pause, but I will get it back in 1 second. Okay, so now we're looking at the Pricing and Commissions tab. And on the Pricing and Commission tab, this is where you will learn about the app vendors' various pricing that they give and what kind of commissions they have available to you. And then, of course, we have the Marketing tab, which is going to talk about what kinds of collaterals are available for you, what kinds of brochures are available for you, what kind of links are available for you. And then, of course, we have the Reviews and the Support tab. Now we're looking at, probably this is where the rubber really hits the road, we're looking at the deal management system. And this is where you actually go in and you register a deal. And this is the most exciting part of all of SaaSMAX, because a couple things happen here. It's simple. You register the deal, and then it automatically goes back to the app vendor who will approve your deal. And then when you close it's a series of steps, and then when you can close the sale in here, and of course the app vendor will then award the sale to you. One point that often comes up to me when I talk with the resellers is often about protecting their deals. And I want to assure you here that you are absolutely protected on your deals. Once they are listed in SaaSMAX, it is your deal. And the only reason it might not be accepted, and we have not seen this yet, but perhaps if the app vendor does not deliver in a particular geography, or they can't particularly do business with that particular company, we haven't seen that sort of thing. But rest assured, this is your deal. And then on this next slide, what we're looking at again is just a sampling of some of the apps that have joined the SaaSMAX marketplace. And again, I think today, even if you took a look at the marketplace, there's probably 1, 2, or 3 that you could probably feel comfortable with and start selling right today. So I really encourage you to, if you're not already a reseller or a VAR or an MSP that's joined the marketplace, you really should consider that. And another point that I haven't mentioned, and I often do earlier, but I want you resellers on the line, and many of you have dialed in, and I know that you were traveling and could not look at the slides, which I can get to you later. But remember, there's no cost while we're in beta to the resellers to join the marketplace. So it's an easy decision for you to get started now. Now this next slide is really addressing what I had mentioned on the very beginning when I said what we'll cover. And what this really is talking about is upselling. And so what we have done is, if you look across, we have divided all of these particular SaaS applications into different horizontals. And so and categorize them that way. If you're selling SaaS, the likelihood, any SaaS app, is that there are going to be other SaaS apps that you can sell. So for instance, on the line one, you're looking at the fact that if you've sold one SaaS app, most likely they need security, they probably need an increase in their broadband, they probably need more backup and recovery. So there are all these, if you look down as we've tried to categorize them for you, the likelihood that you could sell more of what from the first app that you sold is very likely, and that's what we are seeing happen today in our reseller channel. And as we go on from this this slide, this is a great one to look at. I worked with Michael Panett, and I'm happy to see this up here today on our slide deck, that he joined SaaSMAX in December of 2012. And he was very happy and very pleased that when he went to work with his client, he reduced the time that he could deliver his application, his need for the client, reduced it from weeks to days. And he did that by working with one of our app vendors, one of our partners, Sandler Partners, to help achieve that success rate. So again, he's just one of many that are already experiencing the value of doing all their business within SaaSMAX. And now, as I take a look, I promised you that I'd show you what the spiff looked like, and this is what we had going, that for our partners, that if they had, when they closed their 3 sales by April 15th, 2013, they were going to get an extra $100, and that was all on top of whatever their commissions already were. So we've had some winners out there that made sure that we made good on that stiff that was offered. And we, in the future, plan to have some more of these, and I'm sure Henry will keep you informed of those as we design them and bring them out going forward. So with that said, as promised, we wanted to make sure we kept this in interest of your time to run through this pretty quickly. I am going to say thank you now. And I am very happy today that I had the pleasure of having Dina on the call and Henry on the call with me. You can see all of our contact information up there for those of you that can see. But Dina, feel free to reach out to Dina or Henry or myself. Of those on the phone only, I am Donna Olmstead at SaaSMax.com, DonnaOlmstead at SaaSMax. And I would be very happy to hear from you. Thank you again for your time. Goodbye.